Head off to a farm auction today. Got your usual agricultural suspects, and there's also a couple muscle cars hiding in the mix. Everything here was pulled out of this big barn for the auction. Trucks, tractors, cars. The one son was paralyzed, and he's since passed on, so these things are just being auctioned to settle the estate. A few small items on the trailers. I forgot there is one old car too, the 26 or 27 Model T Coupe. Little copycat crate bike. Schwinn's were really popular and everybody made their own version. Older restoration on the T, but it still presents very well. Good pride of ownership. See, it has had the mice in it, but haven't really chewed it up, so just take it apart, scrub it down with Lysol, sanitize it. Probably be good again. Just really basic, simple machines. Just not a lot to them.
Today, our cash, everything's going to be sold as is, where is, without any warranties expressed or implied. The property becomes yours as soon as it is sold, then becomes your responsibility. Assisting us here today with the auction, we have Devon serving as our clerk, Cammy and Mary serving as cashiers, located there in the trailer bid by number. Those who done registered for a bidder's number, if you do so, please, will be underway off of this trailer merchandise. Folks will say these four trailers right here in a line right here on the small items to begin with. Folks, we'll take a look at the clock. If it's around 11 o'clock or so, we'll go start on them cars. The car over here, the 66 Chevrolet, that car, we're going to park that out just a little bit. I'll tell you guys on those other two engines. We'll explain that a little bit better once we get over there. Then we'll step over here into the yard and we'll clean up all those larger items over and through there, guys. The tractors, the drills, and everything that you see over there, the other car, the Grand National, and so forth. We'll come back and we'll say fuel tanks, and we'll kind of clean up the ground, whatever we got left over there by the shed, guys. Some more tires and so forth. If you're looking for more irrigation tires, well, I just looked over there, guys. Yes, this car. I'll tell you what we ought to do, Charlie. After we sell that Chevy up here, let's just walk right by on this car out here, this Model T. Let's offer that car to you, and then we'll come on down through the line. There is more of those irrigation tires in a chicken house back behind here. I think there's 13 more over there, so there's 2 over here, about a 15 total on those irrigation tires. If you're looking for irrigation tires, we got more of them. Guys, restroom facilities available over there in the porta pot. We do have the youth group is serving food over in the building. Folks, they've got I think they got donuts and coffee to get started with here for you folks. And then later on, even now, I'm sure they sell you sloppy Joe, maybe a hot dog. I think they got hot dogs and sloppy Joes over there. Go support the youth group. Go grab you something. Preston's going to be on this end. Charlie's going to be over here working on this side right there, guys. Charlie to sell him a set of caps or something right there. Hey, all those up caps out there, $1 to you. 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 Sold out $6 right here for the umpire, $79. You want them all? Yep. All right, guys. Also, another box right here. Preston, just grab anything down there. Got a chainsaw. There's an old boss type chainsaw right there.
Guys are saying that's the original 396 out of the Chevelle, so that's pretty good. Have that along with it. Add significantly to the value of the car to have the correct numbers matching engine. See, there's been restoration started on it. You just never know what's under the primer. Never know how much is here when they've all been taken apart. See, there's a lot of pieces with it, but fortunately much of this is repro'd. Whatever of anything for it that isn't here, Go buy at a swap meet or buy out of the catalog. Spare big block engine. And a spare small block. Does not have factory AC. Car does have the correct stock hood. I was looking at the trunk earlier, and this is one of the old style 3-piece trunk floors. Weld them in. They've just lapped the edges over. You can see laid down over the original existing sheet metal. Also in the tail panel, there's still rust holes that weren't addressed. So depending who's going to work on this, whatever the standards they're building it to, may want to redo it. Does have the 12-bolt rear. Just all depends if somebody wants something to go run around in, or if they really want to build a high-dollar show car. Every car guy has to have a stickered up toolbox. Got this set of 90s billet razor saw wheels. I hated these when they were new, and they haven't grown on me any since. Stock down to the hubcaps is the only way. Out here's a little bit of the good, the bad, and the ugly. This is a 76, 77 Chevelle. You can see it used to be good, and now it's just bad and ugly. The bad is that the rear bumper and the quarters are completely rotted apart. And the ugly is roof sawed off to make a clandestine convertible. You can see totally unfinished. Just bare steel across the roof, the sharp edges. This was somebody's impulsive summer of fun and chassis flex. They said it ran and drove when it was parked. It had a title. Wasn't parked that long ago, so it may have another impulsive summer of fun left in it, or it may just be a parts car. Next buyer, really up to them to decide. It's got the tilt column, good trim moldings, matching set of rally wheels, a whole front clip. That would fit an El Camino if somebody needed it. Can't totally knock it just because of what man and Mother Nature have done to it. But it's no pristine showpiece either at this point. Yeah, you could get a 305 and 77. heart of the Buick Grand National was the turbocharged Buick V6. These were pretty lively performers in the day. There was also a Buick Regal T-Type, and I'm just not that up on these to really know the differences between them. See, it's got the Hydro Boost brakes, distributorless ignition there with the coil pack. These came out in 1982 in this body style, and those first year ones were painted gray. Then 83 they took a year off. 84 they came in black. This one with the factory sunroof. See, does have the disability hand controls. Interior has some wear, but it hasn't really been ragged out or abused. Looks like it's just turned over 100,000 miles. Needs some restoration work, but these are very low production cars. Just really don't see them around every corner. They said that he saw this thing on the dealer showroom in Hutchinson, Kansas, and he had to have it. Made a deal and bought it, and kept it up pretty well. See, the plastic fillers have fallen out of the bumpers, which is just really something of age more than abuse. This car did run and drive with no issues at the time of his passing, so there really shouldn't be any reason a guy can't tinker on it and get it up and going again. We have the 1965 Ford F600. Truck's been pretty well cared for. Just hardly ever see them this nice, having been garaged and actually waxed and had good care taken for them. Got the 352 power brake booster up on the firewall, kind of uncommon. Has a few dings and a few warts, but really pretty well maintained old truck. Does have a steel box, which is desirable. Tires are good. Most of these farmers have just gone to hauling grain with semis, and so the usefulness of these trucks is pretty well past them. Probably shock you how little that thing will sell for. Sold international. Sporting a lot of accessory pieces. Got the extra fuel tank on the side there. Got the suitcase weights in the front. Got the Femco cab with air conditioning. Femco cab was intended as a rollover protection, so that was one of the marketing points that they sold them with. Turbo diesel, they said this one has a fresh overhaul on it. Really hasn't even been broken in. Here's the operator station. Pretty basic. I have good memories of these old tractors. A lot of my neighbors had them growing up. This is what we used to see out in the fields all the time. It's like a 960 International. Got the aftermarket bucket loader. Thing's pretty practical tractor. Got the 3-point and PTO and everything. Tractor's had a lot of use overall. You see a lot of grease on the bottom, which makes you think there's probably some maintenance due soon. Cool old FAA sticker, and you see 1971 model year marked there in crayon on the tire. And we've got the Farmall Super H. Older restoration on this, but you can see it's been maintained very well. Really good looking tractor if somebody has a use for a tricycle style. International Harvester built tons of these H's. It's like close to 400,000 of them, so it was a real symbol of post-war American prosperity. The Super H was pretty much the same as H, it just had a little more powerful engine. But to a collector, they're significantly harder to find. They were like less than 10% of total H production. So if somebody's trying to collect one of every series, this tractor would definitely hold some interest to a collector for sure. Yeah, Adam, if their green grass is out, they probably have a taste for green grass. They've eaten dry hay all winter, and they're ready to eat grass.
My buddy, he owned it.
Oh, is that the guy on that
He
side?
won 20,000, 17,000.
I can't say that. That's the one that was in this car that we put in 78.
That's the one that was in the car in 78, he says.
Well, we pulled the 396 out originally.
Pulled the 396 out, put that in.
Drove it for years. And wanted to restore it.
Put that engine in there and he bought all the parts for it.
That is, the serial number on that engine is not date appropriate if you want an original car. It'll work. It's not, yeah. That's been rebuilt. What you see.
Okay, is everybody clear as mud? Now I'm going to say the car, the hood, the parts, and that engine.
The interior parts to the car are inside.
Interior parts are inside.
There's new rubbers for windows and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, gaskets and you name it's in there, guys. Okay, let's see what happens right there, guys. 2,500, somebody get 3,000 somewhere. I'm going 3,000, somebody get 5 more. I'm 4,000, somebody get 2,500, somebody get 5,000, that's 6,000, that's 7,000, somebody get 8, somebody get 9, and now somebody get 10,000, now 11, 11, now 11 where? I'm 10, 11 here, somebody get 12, I'm 12, somebody get 12, somebody get 12,000, somebody get 15, now 13, now 14, now 15, 15,000, now 16, where is all now 15, 16, now 17,000, 16, 5, 16, 5, 5, 17, $17,000. I'm 17 where are you now? 17,000. I'm 17 where are you now? 17,000, 17,000. Back to you. 5, 17, 16, 5 and 17 grand, now $70,000. 65 hit, now 70 grand, now 70 here. $70,000, 17, that's a joke.
Feel dizzy?
I played till 10.
Yeah.
$18,000, where? 18 now, 18 where? 17, 5 bid, 18 where? 75 bid, 18, 18, where? $18,000, $18,000 where? 18 now, $18,000, $18,000 where? Anybody want to try it? For 18, 17, 5, 18, 18,000, back in, 18. 18,000. We'll take some time. You talk to him. $18,000. When you're done, I'll talk to him. $18,000. 18,000. Okay, let's talk about title. Title, we got a clear title on that car right there. We get it signed over by a family member. Yep. 18,000. $18,000. 17,5 and 18. That's 17,5 bid. 18 here. Want to give it 10 where? Want to give it $10,000 where? That's 17,5 bid. Want to give it 10. That's 17,5's bid. Now 18,000 where? Anybody back in? 18. Today's the day. It's here today. We're gonna find another one. 18,000. 18,000. $18,000. 18,000. No, we gotta sell it now. We got a seller now, 18,000. You guys should have been making them calls earlier. $18,000. $18,000. 18,000. Well, just bid for him. It'll be a lot easier just to tell him what you've done instead of asking what to do. $18,000. 18,000. 17,5, 18. Back in. 18,000. $18,000. 18. Hey, not a bit. Want to give it to him? 17,5, 18. He said no. He was gone a long time ago. Right here, 17,005, number 28. 17,5. Thank you both. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. You get that unit right there. Let's offer you this engine transmission right here. Let's sell this whole unit to you right there. Hey, 250. Somebody get $500. Hey, 500. Now somebody. Hey, $500. Now somebody. Want to get $1,000. Now $1,200. Want to get $1,200. $1,000. $1,200. Want to get $1,500. Want to get $1,500. Now $1,700. Now $2,000. Let's see. Want to get $18. $18. Want to get $50. $17. Want to get $18. $18. Want to get $50. Want to get $1,500. That's $17. $18. Want to get $15. $18. $18. $18. That's $17. Want to get $50. $18. Want to get $18. $18. That's 17, 18, 19, hang in here, 19, 19 now, where to get that cap, $19, 18, 15, 19. 19 half. 19 You got it done for $1,900, and that is buyer number.
I got 6.
48.
Not counting
1,900 to buyer number 48. 48 on this unit right here. 48. All right, guys, let's go on around. We got this other engine. We'll offer the engine and all these parts. The engine and all those parts right here, guys. You're buying this whole pile right here. The stand, there it goes, right there. 250, $500, up 2.5, $500. That's $700. 5 hitting now, $750. $5, $700,000. That's $1,250. Want to get $1,500. Want to get $1,500. Want to get $15. $15. Where it ought to be. Yeah. You're getting all the parts, $1,500. Thank you. And the engine and the stand. Everything you see right here. $17,000. That 22, that 22, that 25, and 25, but yeah, now, that 25, 5, that 27, 15, that $3,000, that $3,000, 32, that ought to be now 32, 50, that 3,000, 32 and a half, where is it now 32 and a half, $3,000, 31. $3,100, 3,031, thank you, 32, not 2, where? 31, what I get to you now, 31, I get to you, 100, I get to you, 100, I get 32, where? 31, 2, 31, not 32, where? I get to you now, 31, I get to you, 100, I get to you, I get 32, you get to buy the whole thing now, 31, parts, whole thing, 32. 31, 32. At 31, I'm not going to get to you. I'm going to get to you. I'm going to get to you. I'm going to get to you. Now, 31, I'm going to get to you now. You got it done for 3,100. Buyer number 64. Buyer 64. 64 buys right here. 64. Okay, let's say this pile. Let's say this transmission, anyways, right there, guys. Transmixer to you right there for $50.75. $50.75. $75. $50. $50.75. 75. Give $100. $100 here. $100 where? 75. Gonna be one. That's $75. Give $100. Now $100 where? 75. Gonna be one. That's 75. Give $100 here. Next quarter. $100 a quarter. $10. $110. $10. Give $110. Now 10. Now 10. $10. $100 here. $10. Now $110. $10. $10. $20. 120, 110, 120, 110, 120, where $120, $110, 20, where now 120, 30, 30 here, $30, where $30, 40, and $40, 130, 40, where $130, 40, where 140, 140 now. Sold $130 right here, buyer 129. Buyer 129, 129. That's how the yellow iron to you right there. Restored in 1970, restored in 70. It's sat for a long time in the shed. It's been in the shed now. Been in the shed for a long time, sat for a long time. It's not running at this time right here, guys. Buy that away.
Just tell me what the final bill is, so I can tell them this car.
Well, there you go. We got a story at least.
And the deal is, Henry decided that it was too uncomfortable. And then he did that.
All right. Thank you. Guys, I'll tell you what. He's got it sitting on his trailer. And folks, take a look at this trailer. As soon as we're done with this car, I'm going to offer you this car trigger over here on this side. Folks, he's got it on his trailer within reason. I guess 25, maybe 50 miles. I don't know. You talk to Craig. If you guys buy this thing, he might deliver it to you within a reason on the miles now. Guys, I know he's got to go to work tonight, but folks, you talk to Craig. Let's sell the old car to you right there. $2,500. So we get $3,000 worth. That 25 here, gotta be three. That $3,000 worth. Gotta get three. 25, gotta be three. $2,500. $3,000 worth. Gotta get three. That 25 on the rock. That 25, gotta get 3,000. That 35. That 30, gotta get 5. 35. That 5 and that 4. That 4,000. Gotta get 4. Gotta get 4. Where 35. Gotta get 4. That $4,000 worth. That 35. Gotta get 4. Where gotta get $4,000. Gotta get $4,000. Gotta get 4. That 35 and 4,000. Better get 4, better get 4, better get 4, better get 4, better get 5, better get 4, better get 5, 5, 45, better 45 now, better get 45, better get 4,000, 45, 45, word, 5, 45, I get $4,000, and 45, word, 5, 45, 4,000, 42, now 3, 42, $100, I get 43, $100, I get 43, 3, I get 5, 43, I get 4, 44, 125, I get 5, I get 5, 160, 45, 50, 60, 45, 5, 60, 45, now 46, $5, $5, now 6, $4,500, now 46, $45, $5, 6, $4,500, 6, now 6, I get 45, 5, back in, $4,600, $4,600, 6, now 7, I get $4,600, now 47 for your dollar bill, now $4,700, hey, 46, 7, 8, hey, 47, I get paid, $100, I get paid, $100, I get paid, I get paid, now 47, get paid. Hey, 47 billion, now 48 where? Hey, 47.50, give a half then. 47.50, let's try it again. 47.50, 47.50 in the bottom of the swing. I get 4700, I get pass. Hey, 47 and a half, where? Now I get 47 and a half. Greg, you get $4,700. 4,700, give a half. Hey, 47 and a half. I get 47.50. Hey, 47.50, 47.50, give a half. Hey, $4,700. I get $5 figured out. I get half there. I get 47 and a half. $4,700. Now half $1 and a half. Where? I get 47 boys. 47.50. 47.50. Take a little more.
You got it.
We'll let it go. Boys, after all this, I don't think he wants to let it go. I think he's kind of attached to it. Probably why he left it on his trailer. 47.8. Now, now 48. Where? Let's keep her, Craig. All right, let's go on down. Got fun. Convertible. $550, $600 now. $650. Well, if we can find the top, it'll go with it. $550, $600. $600, $550, now 6 here, now 550, now 6 here. Sold at 5.5, buyer 117. 550, buyer 117. Hey, we found buyer 143. I might use it in this Grand National. Guys, if you want 143, you can buyer 143. I got your number. This Grand National, 84 model. 84 model, there it is, sitting in the shed. Been sitting in the shed a long time. That guy popped that away to you right there. 25 $4 That's not running. It's not running here. 4,000, thank you. $5,000 bid on it. 5,000. Now what I said, that's 7 where? What do you get? 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 10, 10,000, 11, 12, 13, what do you get? $14,000. 14 where? What do you get? 14 now? 13,000. $14,000
They sold me one around here. 83.
Back in, guys. $14,000 where? 13 bid now. 14 where? 14 where? 13 You got it in for 13.5. Is this buyer 41? 13.5 to 41. 13.5 to buyer 41. Ready to go and ride. Folks, right there, nice and lefty right there, good runner. Hey, so I'll tell you right there, say $15,000, 1,000, 1,000, now 20, I'm 12 and a half, I'm gonna get 15, I'm gonna get 15, I'm gonna get 15, now 7 and a half, I'm gonna get 15, 15,000, I'm gonna get 15, 19, I'm gonna get 15, I'm gonna get 19, 18, I'm gonna get 19, where I get 19, I'm gonna get 19, now 19, now 19, 19, where, 18, I'm gonna get 19, where, I'm gonna get 19 now, 1,800, I'm gonna get 19, where, now 2,000, at 2,000, now 1, at 21, gonna get 2, now 2, now 2, 22, at 21, I'm gonna get 2, 100, I'm gonna get 22, where, at 21's big, gonna be 2, where, I'm gonna get 2, now 2, now 2, now 2, now 2, where, it's a super H, at 21, gonna be 2, where, I'm gonna get 2, 100, I'm gonna get 2, 100, I'm gonna get 2, gonna be 2, 3, at 22, Jaron, 23, at 22, gonna be 3, now 3, now 3, now 3, give a half, Jaron, at 22, now 22, 50, at $2,200, now, now 22 and a half, at $2,200, now, half a dollar, now, where, now, I get 22, 2 and a half, where, 22, 50, I got 22 with you, 22 and a half, at $2,200, now, half a dollar, what I get, where, now, 22, 2 and a half, where, you got it in for 2,200, buyer 117, buyer 117, buyer 117 on it right there. You might get a ride. You're gonna get out of that bucket. He don't trust you. Yep, we're ready to go. We'll ask him for sure. What about that TA in there? Is the TA good? TA's good, they say. Sounds good. Good running 960. It's got that high lift GB 900 high lift loader on it right there for you, do. Heavy duty right there. It's got good tires, good rubber. It's a sharp tractor. They've had it in the shed right there, guys. Sell a good rig to you right there. $3,500. I'm gonna get $4,000 away. At 35 here, I'm gonna get $4,000 away. I'm gonna get 40. I'm gonna get 5. At 4,000, I'm gonna get 5. I'm gonna get 5,000. At 4 bid, I'm gonna get 5 for. At $4,000 and $5,000 here. 5. I'm gonna get 5 for. At 4,500. At 4,000, 45. 5, 4,500. At 4,000 bid. Now 45 where? 40. I'm gonna get 5, 4,500. At 45. Now 5,000, 55. 55 where? 5, 55. 55 now 6,000 where? Now 55. Get here. Get here and get there. $6,000 where? I'm gonna get 55. 5 on the bill. 6 here. $6,000 where? 55. 5 on the bill now. $6,000. 55. 6,000. 5 65 where? 62 and a half. 62 and a half. Where? Now 2 and a half. Got 6,000 bidding, now 62 and a half. Where I'm gonna get $2.5. $6,000, now 2 and a half. I'm gonna get 2 and a half. Where I'm gonna get 2 and a half. $6,100 then. 61 where it ought to be. Somebody want ought to be 1 half 1 where now 2. $6,200. I'm gonna get 2. Gonna be 3. 2. I'm gonna get 3. I'm gonna get 300. I'm gonna get 3. I'm gonna get 4. 4. 4. I'm gonna get 5. 4. I'm gonna get 5. Now I'm gonna get 5. I'm gonna get 5. Now 5 and 5 and 5 5 5 65. $6,500. Hey 4 bid 5 where now 6 7. Hey 5's bid now 6 7. 7 where it ought to be. I'm gonna get $6,700. Now 7 get 7. Now 7. Now 7 7. Now 7 where? Yeah, Joe, you're out here. $6,700. 7 where it ought to be. Now 67. 6 here it ought to be. I'm gonna get 7 where it ought to be. Now $6,700. 7 where it ought to be. Now 7. Gotta be 7. Get 7. Now 7. Now 7 7. Now 7 where? $6,700. 6 here it ought to be. Now 7 where it ought to be. Now 7 where it ought to be. 7 here it ought to be. Now $6,700. Gone. $6,600 now. You got it. 134. 134, 134.
You start raising your hand up, you'd learn it real quick.
Folks, it's 1066 right here. Brenda's got that one. She's gonna fire this tractor off to you. They put the new engine in this tractor. It's still got the break-in oil on it right there, guys. Guys, got a good engine in that tractor. Folks, anything else, Brenda, you think, Craig, you want to say about that tractor yet? It's been shedded. When it wasn't in use, guys, they kept trying to keep her in the shed now. It's on the tractor to you right there, guys. $3,500. Somebody get 4,000 on the way. At 3,500, somebody get 4, 4, 4. Somebody get 4,000. Somebody get 5. At 4, somebody get 5. Somebody get 5, 5, 5. Somebody get $5,000. At 4 bids, 5 where? At 5,000, 5,000, $5,000. Where? 5 now 6 here. At 5 bids now 6 here. Ought to get 5, 5,500. At 5,000 now 5. Ought to get 5. Ought to get 5 now 6 here. 6,000. Ought to get 5. Ought to get 5. 7. At 7 where? Gonna be $7,000. Where? Ought to be 7. 7,000, 75, that's 75, I want to get 5, I want to get 8, that's 75, I want to get 8, $8,000, that's 75, now we did, $8,000, 77, and now 8, I want to get 8,000, I want to get 77, I want to get 8, I want to get 78, $7,800 then, $7,800, I want to get 9, $7,900, 8, 79, I want to get 9, now $8,000, and now 1, 81, where it ought to be on that 1, $8,000, now 81, where it ought to be, and 81, I want to get 2, I want to get 2, now 8,200, 81 big, yeah, I want to get 2, now 8,200, 81 big, I want to get 2, 3, 8,200, I want to get 3, now 300, 82 spin, now 3, now 3, 4, 8,400, I want to get 4, I want to get 4, I want to get 4, now 3, I want to get 4, 84, I want to get 4, now 4, 5, 8,400, I want to get 5, I want to get 5, now 6, 85 spin, now 6, 85, now 6, 85 spin, now 6, 85, 5, 5, 5, now 6, 8,600, 85, now it is 6, I want to get 5, 5, 5, 5, 6, 85 spin, now 6, 6, I want to get 5, 5, 5, 5, back in, that is 6, now 7, 87, now 8, 8, now 9, now 9,000, now $9,000, and 9, where I gotta be 9, 99, I want to get 9, gotta be 9, get 9, $9,000, even money, $9,000, and 9, where I gotta be 9, get 9, get 9, get 9, 9, 9, 9, where, back in, $9,000, $9,100, now $200. $9,200. Let's see what happens. 92. At 91, I'm gonna get 2. At 91, I'm gonna get 2. Where 91, I'm gonna get 2. Gotta be 2. Now 2. Now 2. Now 2. Where 91, I'm gonna get 2. I know. We'll see it before. 91, 92. We're going to eat at the barn later on. 91, 92, and 91, I'm going to get 2, where I got to be 200, I'm going to get 200, I'm going to get 2, now 2, where? And 91, going to be 2 now. And 91, I'm going to get 200, I'm going to get 2, now 300, I'm going to get 3, 93. Up 2's bid 3, where? And 9,300, I'm going to get 300, I'm going to get 4. And 9,300, I'm going to get 4, where? Again 400, I'm going to get 4, I'm going to get 4, I'm going to get 4, now 93, I'm going to get 4. 9,400, and 9,300, I'm going to get 4, where? I'm going to get 4, now 94. And 9,300, I'm going to get 400, I'm going to get 4, where? Again 4, now 93, I'm going to get 4. And 9,300, I'm going to get 4, I'm going to get 4, gotta be 4, get 4, now 94, $9,400. You got her done for 9,300. Put it on buyer number 9,300, buyer 140, buyer number 140, 140 the buyer. All right, let's go on up to this 1965 Ford truck. 65 Ford truck, and stock tractor. You bet. All cattle with it, you bet. Back in the good old days.
Low mileage.
Low mileage, there you go. Sure.
Did it need any repairs? Brakes work okay?
Yeah, they work okay. They put a new booster in.
Yeah. Power brakes.
Look at the much.
Power brakes is hard to find in one of these. Yeah, most were manual.
Old Lightfoot, she got her back in going.
I was gonna buy it. I got a dump trailer. Just one less thing I got to pay for.
Yeah. That's why people are going to dump trailers. Our city got rid of their dump truck and got a trailer.
All I got to worry about is the battery.
Putting Brenda to the test here today now, I'll tell you for sure. Taking her back a few years.
You know, I have a
There you go. Now look down. Stand back. Gotta put your foot up there on the dash, you get a little bit of leverage. Right here, something's trying to come down. There we go. Now we're gonna see. Yeah, they won't slide out yet. Sure. Yeah. I'm not gonna pick them up. Probably good though. It'll go. Probably need a little bit more oil in it. It'll go. That's good enough. Brenda, let it go back down now before we get somebody's headphones stuck in there.
push on the black one. Easy now.
That's a good there. That's what I was afraid of. Right there.
My dad told me never to drop one.
You bet. Let's shut that thing down before somebody gets hurt. There you go. Let's sell this old truck to you right there. $1,500. Somebody get $2,000 underwear. Got a title. We got a title on it. $1,500. Somebody get $2,000 underwear. Up to here. What I get to here. What I get to you. You got to be $2,000 underwear. I'm 15. What I get to you. Got to be now 17 and a half. What I get to you. That's 17, 50 bid. That's $2,000 underwear. What I get to you. What I get to you. $2,000 underwear. That's 17, 50 bid. 2,000. That's 22 now. That's 22 now. What I get 5, 23. $2,300. At 22, 50 again, now 3. What I get 3, what I get 3, $2,300. At 22, 15, now 3, now 3, now 3, now 3, now 3. At $2,300. At 22, 50 spin, now 3. Where did I get 3? 3, get about 23. At 22, 15, now 3. Where did I get 3? 100, I get 3, 23. At 22, 15, now 300. I get 3, 100, I get 3, now 3, now 3. At 23 now. At 23, hit on, I get 3, now 3. Where? Ethan, buy that truck, haul it in, dump it. $2,300. 22, 15, 23. At 22, I'm gonna get 3. 100, I'm gonna get 3. Gotta be 3. Get 3, now 3, now 3. Worried about I'm gonna try. $2,300. 22, 50, and 3. We got a truck bought for 22.50. Buyer 52. Buyer 52. We thank you. Need any instructions? You talk to Brenda first, and then Craig.
Farmall Super H had had an excellent restoration done and was presented in top mechanical condition. Started right up. The tires were great. The only problem is it's a tricycle tractor, and so there's just limited use for what you can really do with one. But $2,200 for the condition it was in. Excellent deal if a tricycle tractor is what you're in the market for. And in all reality, you couldn't pull one of these out of the field, get it running, put tires on it, and restore it for probably 4 or 5 times that cost. So in those terms, it was an excellent value. The 960 seemed okay, but the underside of this tractor was covered in grease, and it was going to need mechanical attention soon. So $6,600 I felt like was about all the money in the world for it. The 1066 had just come off of a fresh overhaul. I felt like for $9,300 there was an awful lot of tractor here for the money, especially when you compare the prices to new ones. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. This tractor represented a very good value in my opinion. The Ford F600 had been well maintained and was in excellent functional condition. However, the market for these trucks is pretty soft because there are still tons of them around, and in this area they're regularly being cut up for scrap, even in good running condition, simply for regular maintenance stuff like brakes, tires, or beds in poor condition. Anyone in the market for one of these trucks can be pretty choosy, and this was a choice truck, yet still sold for a bargain price of a little over $2,200. The 1966 Chevelle SS showed that the price of anything, well, at auction, the sky's the limit. All it takes is two bidders to send it to the stratosphere. Although, with that said, an original 1966 SS 396 car isn't around every corner, and if you wanted it, it was there that day. All it took to own it was to outbid the last guy standing. Recent selling prices for restored examples of 66 and 67 Chevelles have been very strong, no doubt pushed by the rarity of a car that's over half a century old, plus the price of parts, labor, materials, and inflation in general. This car still needed a tremendous amount of work and effort to get it across the finish line, so for the amount required to do that, and the finished restored value, something like this probably would have been a labor of love, but for what other reason do we restore these old cars anyway? The Model T market is soft in general, even on fully restored cars such as this. A car in this condition might be worth $8,000 to $10,000 realistically. At the $4,000 mark, I was super tempted to jump in, and even at the $4,700 mark, I was sweating. Should I bid? Because I still felt like there was a couple $1,000s left. So, with that said, I felt like the seller was smart to hang on to it and maybe try in a different venue. I definitely had the muscle car crowd there and not really guys that were coming to shop for Model Ts. So he was probably wise to hang on to it and maybe give it a try somewhere else, sometime else. The temptation was strong for a summer of impulsive fun with the 1977 Malibu Classic Hack Top, and adding up the value of parts on this car, the rally wheels, the door panels, the front clip, the tilt column, and the running small block Chevy drivetrain, there's definitely a lot of value here. But what I noticed at the time of the bidding was that the guy who was bidding on it was going super strong, and this car would have easily sailed past 800 or 1,000 had I kept bidding. So I just decided to hang off of it. I've got lots of other cars, other places to pick up. This one would have been super tempting, and believe me, I was. But some fish you just have to leave in the pond for someone else to hook them. The Buick Grand National, I felt, brought a realistic market price for the condition of the car. It was an original owner car, rust-free, original paint, not wrecked, original interior, just very unmolested survivor car, though it did need some work. When you realize what the market is on these cars, I felt like the price that the new owner picked it up for, he wasn't in it for cheap, but this is a car that will only continue to appreciate, and so the price he bought it for, I don't think he will get hurt on it long term when you consider where the price of these cars is headed. Driven by the condition of them and the rarity. There just isn't one around every corner.